Day 364, being Christopher Cruz. I'm just leaving the gym. It's 6:18. Oh, I didn't want to wake up today. I stayed at Araceli's and my alarm clock went off at like 3:45. And then it went off at 3:50 and I did not want to get up. And she opened her eyes and she looked at me. She said, "Get up." And I was like, fuck, all right, I'm up. So I'm really grateful that she made me get up, and then I drove here and the drive was nice. It was like, only took me like 40 minutes to get here. No traffic really. Yeah, and I'm glad I came. Really glad I came. Because I got to get back in the groove. I got to get back in the groove. Yeah. So, that's what I'll do. Get back in the groove. Yeah, it's like I keep thinking, like, when am I going to crack this sleep thing? And it's so ridiculous if I really think about it. Like, it's so ridiculous to think that me getting into bed at a certain time of the evening is such a challenge. Like, that's actually, if you really break it down, it's one of the stupidest things. Like, really? Really? You can't crawl into your bed at a certain time of the night? Like, that's so stupid. It's not like saying, like, hey, bench press 500 pounds. Like that's not physically possible for me to do, but I can physically just crawl into bed. It's literally that easy. But my mind, my little fucking sheep, builds it up to be this thing of like, oh my God, you've never been the kind of person who goes to bed early. Like, how could you possibly get into bed at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night or whatever? Like, that's not even possible. Oh my God, this is the biggest challenge ever. Blah, 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 blah. And it's just like our sheep put so much drama behind such simple, stupid ass things. Like, it's so simple. It's so basic. Like, just fucking go get in bed. Set an alarm on your phone and go get in bed when it goes off. No matter what you're doing, stop what you're doing and go get into bed. That's the only way I'm going to do it. Like, in my mind, it's like I'm waiting for this code to be cracked, like for this thing to happen where it's like, all right, now I can do it. And it's just like, dude, just fucking crawl into bed. So ridiculous, so stupid. It's like our minds can make things that are so possible impossible. Like, our minds have these, it's like our mind has this ability to take something so simple, so possible, and turn it into the most complex, impossible thing on the planet in order to hold us back and stop us from moving forward in our lives. And it's ridiculous to think that for me, getting into bed at 8 p.m. in my mind is like the impossible. Like, how the hell am I going to do something like that? That's crazy. And it's just like, you just fucking crawl into bed, duh. But that's what our mind is a master at. It's a master at taking the possible and making it impossible. That's what our sheep does. It takes the possible and makes it impossible, versus our lion, our greatest self, the most badass version of ourselves, takes the impossible and makes it possible. It's like they do the exact opposite. Your inner sheep takes the possible and makes it impossible, and then your lion has to do all the work to take the impossible and make it possible. But it's like, as soon as we decide something in our minds, as soon as we decide that something is impossible, we won't even try anymore. There's no point. Why would you try if you know it's not even possible? It would just be a waste of your time and your energy and your life. And so that's where our sheep comes in, and it is an absolute master at turning the possible into the impossible. Because if your mind can make you think something is impossible, you will give up. You will quit before you even start. And so it's like, for me, for the longest time, for 34 years of my life, my belief was that it is impossible for me to wake up at 4 a.m. Impossible. And then I just did it for the last 2 months. Right? My sheep said it's impossible. My lion said bullshit. And I turned what was impossible into possible, and now into probable, where it's just like, yeah, I'll wake up at 4. But my mind is starting to get me back to that place of like, 4 is so early, 3:30 so early. And so I have to catch myself because my sheep is trying to take what was once probable and make it impossible. God, what a sneaky fuck. It's like, how many things in your life are completely possible, super doable, but you don't even attempt them because your mind convinces you that it's impossible. You don't even try it because your mind believes it's impossible. Like, I remember when I was at the gym and it was a box jump. And it's like, I don't think I've ever really done a box jump because I've been too scared to try. And it's like, oh no, I'm way too overweight. I can't jump that high, blah, 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 blah. And we were at this team training like 2 months ago. And I went up to the box and I'm like, nope, I'm just going to step onto it. And then I was like, no, bullshit. But my mind was like, it's impossible. You can't jump that high. There's no way. And the reason why I believed that, because I had never even fucking tried. So my sheep convinced me that it's impossible, which then made me never even try it. So I didn't even know. And so I remember I tried it and I jumped up there and I landed on top of the fucking box. And I was like, holy shit, I just did a box jump. And I'm like looking around like, did anyone just see this? Because I just did it. And then I did it multiple times. And so it's like, I took what was impossible and made it possible. And so that's what we have to be careful of, because our mind is a master at turning the possible into the impossible. And our heart, our soul, our greatest self, our inner lion is a master at making the impossible possible. So it is not impossible for me to go to bed early. That is absolutely stupid and ridiculous and absurd. All I have to do is crawl into bed. That is how simple it is. And sometimes we just need to like get real with ourselves and simplify this shit and be like, dude, it's crawling into bed. It's not fucking rocket science. Like, it's simple. There's literally no thing that could stop you from doing that, except you just bullshitting and wasting your time or not planning your time out properly. So, yeah, fuck that. It is not impossible. It is completely possible. It is super doable because it's super simple and basic and stupid. Like, why would I even waste so much time and energy trying to figure it out when I could just do it? Right? Like, my mind wants to like figure out a strategic plan so I could eventually one day get in bed at 8. And that's the exact thing that will keep stopping me, is trying to figure it out rather than just doing it. How many things do we try to figure out rather than just doing them? It's crazy. Damn. Well, fuck that.